Marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today.
Welcome to the second episode of The D-Files, where we'll be talking about marriage today. Now, a lot of people get married out there and they think it's going to be some wild ride and it's going to be fun and they're always going to be happy, and when they're not happy anymore, it seems like our society just seems to toss each other's spouses by the wayside. Oh no, she got pregnant, now she's a little bit bigger. Oh, get a new one. Yeah, right. That sounds like a great model. I think as a society, the reason the divorce rate is so high is because we are not content with what we have. As men, it is our responsibility, especially when your wife is pregnant. Men, when your wife is pregnant, it is time to step up to the plate, and that's what I'm going to be talking about now, is being real men. Being that spiritual lead, being that spiritual rock for the household, because that's how you're going to raise healthy kids. That's how you're going to raise godly kids that respect the Lord and respect you, and don't rebel in teenage, years beyond, and don't have problems. Is through God. There is no other way except through Jesus Christ. And if you don't know Jesus, I implore you to go to a church that you feel comfortable going to and go hear the gospel preached. It'll be the best thing you've ever done. But that said, I am going to proceed into the book of Ephesians. And in the book of Ephesians, Paul actually talks twice as much to men about loving their wives as he does to wives submitting to their husbands. In a marriage relationship, you have to understand that man was designed to love woman. Woman was designed to be man's helpmate. So the two need to work together. And so I'm just going to quick read something from Ephesians. It's New International Version, so that's theoretically supposed to be the most accurate version of the Bible. But for those of you that are steadfast on the King James, I also read that too, so don't worry. I read both. Anyway, here's what it says in the NIV. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, to make her holy, cleansing her by washing with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church, without stain or wrinkle or any blemish, but holy and blameless. In the same way, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. After all, no one hated his own body, but he feeds and cares for it, just as Christ does the church. For we are members of his body. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. This is a profound mystery, but I am talking about Christ and the church. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. So on that note, guys, women respond best to love. This is Mark Gunger's material. Mark Gunger is a marriage speaker and he's a pastor up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Check his site out. I don't represent him, but laughyourway.com, awesome site. So right there, I mean, that's what it says. Love your wives, and your wives will respect you. Wives, respect your husbands. You know, they're working hard for you, especially if he's working his brains out for you. Respect him, honor him. Men love respect, women love love. Apologize if we're picking up any background noise. The cats seem to be a bit hyper right now. So a lot of the way this ties back to pregnancy, guys, is your wives are going to get moody. They're going to get short with you. And, you got to be patient with him. You just got to love him. Just like Christ loves you when you screw up, when you sin. That's why Christ died for you. And he's sitting up there and he's like, oh man, they're doing it again. I mean, you even see it when you read through the gospel. He's like, can't you, in the Garden of Gethsemane, he's like, can't you guys stay awake for one lousy hour? Because his disciples fell asleep while he was praying. I mean, that is the sort of, he literally puts up with us. He loves us. But, men, I'm not saying put up with your wives. I'm saying love them. Love them. Understand where they're at. Understand that they're carrying a baby. Understand that, it's your job to carry some weight around here because men have bigger shoulders for a reason, so they can carry more weight. Carry the weight. Show love to your wife that way. Show love to your husband. And wives, appreciate your husband for what he does. Tell him you respect him for honoring you by helping you out and by taking care of you during your pregnancy. I can't stress it enough. You need a healthy marriage, especially once the baby comes, because there's going to be tension. And so that's what if I leave you with one message, be responsible men. Don't go partying. Respect your wife. Love your wife. Tend to her first. Not your parents, not your friends. Your wife is your first responsibility, and you should always be very open with her. My wife knows everything about me from when I was 3 or 4, as far back as I can remember, up to the present day. She knows everything. There are no secrets, and there should never be secrets in marriage. Because if you have secrets and you have separate bank accounts and you have separate this and that, then you got secrets. Everything needs to be transparent. Otherwise, you're dead in the water. So, all right. See you next week for the next episode.